Good evening, District 37. I wanted to give you a glimpse of what happens with the district, with your super trio here at the International Convention in Chicago, Illinois. First, let me start that we traveled on Saturday. Most of us got here by Saturday afternoon. We checked into the Marriott Marquis, and it's a lovely hotel. Let me put that in there first. And then we planned for the next day, which was Sunday, a full day of interviews with candidates. And the candidates, and I'm pulling out my little cheat sheet here, are for international director candidates by region. And we interviewed about 10 candidates on that day, to include a few candidates that were not recommended, which is something new that I learned. So they're basically running from the floor. We also have the distinct privilege to interview candidates for second vice president candidates, and we interviewed all three of them. And so what I have here is an international candidate tracking card that a candidate gave us as a tool to track who we've interviewed and who we might possibly vote for. And as a super trio, we have a discussion about the candidates and what we thought and how we may possibly vote. Now, moving on from that, and I do want to mention that this is a very huge privilege to have the opportunity to vote in leaders at the international level, leaders that will be leading us into the future. Now, that was our Sunday. That was a full day of interviews. We then had to, excuse me, I hope you can cut some of these things out of this video as well. Sunday evening, we had to register for district leader training, and that just took a few minutes to do. We walked up to the table, we've got our materials, we got our little name badges, and they gave us a schedule of our training, which is 2 full days of training. Our days start at 7 a.m. We have breakfast with our peers, and then we're sent off to training from about 8:30 until 5:30 p.m. I'm just getting out of training now, and I also had an opportunity to do an interview with a peer of mine. His name is Joseph. He's a club growth director in Ohio, and he actually interviewed me as part of Toastmasters. And then he also interviewed me as part of his blog, being a retired Army individual. So that was really exciting. You never know who you're going to meet. I did have an opportunity to have lunch with South Africa, with their leaders, and a lady from Canada, a gentleman from the UK. It's just a wonderful experience. I wanted to give you a glimpse of what we're going through as leaders for the district. We are rubbing elbows with leaders at all levels. I did get to hear from Daniel Rex today, from the international president, the international president-elect. It was very exciting to hear these individuals speak at such a high level and then want to interact with us as well and open the door for us to have the conversation with them at a later time here at the convention. As far as training, I had the opportunity, myself and Eric, had the opportunity to go to training for Club Growth Director. And me and Eric were actually split, which is interesting because we're split in the district. And I think it's more bang for the buck too. He's going to training, I'm going to training. We're there going to conversate and collaborate about what we learned. And then Bill went to his training as district director, and Elmer went to his training as program quality director. So they had breakout sessions for all of us based on our role in the district. And what we were learning about today in the Club Growth Director training was how to speak to the prospect or the prospective company And it was a very interesting training to hear about, learn about the situation or their problem, and then to come up with a solution, and then to also come up with an agreement with that prospect or that corporation. So we learned a lot about club growth directors and how we can lean on each other, how everyone has a different view. It's interesting to hear the views from around the world, the English speaking, non English speaking countries, also some other areas that we don't have here in America are some of the techniques that we use as far as public relations. Something like this. This may be something foreign to someone in Europe. It was very interesting to hear that. So I was able to collaborate with a lovely team. I put the picture on the District 37 Facebook, so please check that out. And I look forward to collaborating more tomorrow. We have another full day of training. After that, I believe we have to sign up for the convention. So the convention hasn't even started. So we are here as your district leaders getting this training to ensure that when we come back to the district, we are ready and we are empowered and we've got new ideas on how to be the best district in the world. Yes, I said the world. I am motivated. I am excited. I am just really full of energy now that I've come from my first full day of training and was able to collaborate with like-minded individuals who are in the same situation that I'm in. I'm coming in as a new leader, as your Club Growth Director East, and we're all going through some of the same transitions. I believe we all have our footing now, that we've been in the role for about a month and a half, but it is still nice to know that my peers are there for me and I'm there for them. Again, this is just a snapshot of what we've been doing here. I will interview Eric and Bill and Elmer, and I'll probably interview some of my peers as well if you don't mind, if you want to hear from them. But this is what we're doing to be a better leadership team for you and also to become the best district in the world. I will talk to you later. This is your Club Growth Director East, Ramona Baylor from Chicago, Illinois, Toastmasters International Convention 2018.